These satellite images show the aftermath of attacks on the command posts of Russian Black Sea Fleet near the village of Verkhnie Sadovoye, not far from Russian-occupied Sevastopol. The liquidation of Russian military equipment at the facility was confirmed by the main intelligence directorate of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine. Such attacks on military installations of the Russian army in Crimea, annexed by Russia, has already become commonplace.
We see that news from Crimea appears especially often, and believe me, the occupiers feel these results. They even begin to tell the truth in their own reports. We can state that the last days are dark days for the occupiers, in particular in Crimea. They had not seen such a quantity of destroyed equipment and ammunition for a long time. Andriy Yusov, representative of the main intelligence directorate of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, on the air of the United News Marathon.
Since the beginning of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, the Ukrainian army has eliminated at least 5 large landing ships of the Russian Navy, says Dmytro Pletenchuk, spokesman of the Ukrainian Armed Forces. In total, Russia has 8 such ships left.
The complete or partial liquidation of the Russian military Black Sea Fleet, which is a solvable task, should significantly speed up the process in Russia of searching for a way out of the unleashed war. This could be a good demonstration of the lack of capabilities of the Russian army to adequately counter Western technologies, which would paint a very sad picture of further events. Alexei Danilov, Secretary of the National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine, from a publication on the website of the Ukrainska Pravda.
After another attack on the Black Sea Fleet, the Russian military command decided to redeploy landing ships to the Sea of Azov. And the large landing ship Minsk and the submarine Rostov-on-Don, damaged in Sevastopol, can no longer be restored.
We do not have submarines and ships in such numbers as Russia does, but nevertheless everything possible is being done to prevent Russia from being able to effectively use its fleet for its intended purpose, and the number of ships that it could use has been systematically reduced.
On the night of September 21st, the Saki airfield in Novofedorivka was attacked. The Russian Ministry of Defense called this attack the most massive during the so-called special operation. At the airfield, according to media reports, there were at least 12 combat aircrafts, Su-24 and Su-30, as well as Panzer manpads and the Mojahir drone operator training base. This is not the first attack on the Saki airbase. From here, enemy planes took off to bomb the Zaporizhia, Mykolaiv and Kherson regions.
Part of the weapons that defeat the enemy on our territory, in particular in Crimea, is the implementation of the missile program and our latest developments, which today are no worse than Western models. Alexei Danilov, Secretary of the National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine, in a comment to Ukrainian radio. We see consistency in the actions of Ukrainian forces in the Black Sea and in occupied Crimea. Actions are being carried out that are aimed at weakening the defense of Russian troops on the occupied peninsula, as well as in the Black Sea. Successful reconnaissance activities are also carried out to establish the exact positions and locations of certain assets, and operations are carried out directly.
Strikes against military bases of the Russian army in Crimea, temporarily occupied by Russia, will continue, the Air Force Command of the Ukrainian Armed Forces said. Reported by Anastasia Tarnavska, Victoria Smirnova, UATV News.